Welcome back to the BarDown podcast. Z's not here because we've been holding him hostage. If this doesn't get more than 1,000 likes, he'll never come back.
That's pretty low. If I die after that, no one likes it.
Yeah, you deserved it.
I'm just saying. I'll be back next week, though.
Yeah.
I will. College basketball is over. I will return.
Only because he's so confident that you're going to get 1,000 likes.
Please, that number's like...
Speaking of being back, fellas, we are so back.
We are so back.
We are so back.
Would we have been back if that game ended like 8-7 Avs in overtime, or would
we'd still be back.
We'd still be back?
Guys,
Wow.
we were back before that game.
Yeah.
There is literally nothing better in life.
In life.
Wow.
In
life. Includes all sorts of things, fellas.
That includes everything.
Use your imagination.
Playoff hockey.
First round of NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than the first round of the NHL playoffs. Nothing.
But today we are overreacting to the game ones that have happened so far. We're still waiting on 2 game ones to happen, and that's between the Oilers and the Kings and the Stars and the Golden Knights, which I'm sure there will be plenty of overreactions for those ones as well. We're going to be firing up a lot of pods throughout the playoffs, so don't worry. We'll get to those soon enough. But today we've got our first 6 games that have happened at least, and we're just overreacting to what's happening in those series. And obviously that's how the playoffs go. You know, game 1 happens, everybody thinks the sky is falling, and maybe it's not. Okay, we're starting off Luka, first game, Carolina, New York.
Favorite team.
Yeah,
Islanders.
an electric game.
Yeah. It's an overreaction, though, that I think, might be a proper reaction in a bit, but, is Frederik Andersen the best goalie remaining in the playoffs?
Yes.
Maybe a bit of an overreaction right now because, Connor Hellebuyck's going to win the Vezina, and there are some other goalies playing really well, but,
there's a lot of goalies playing poorly.
There are a lot of goalies playing poorly, and he has been unbelievable for this team this season. I know he only played 16 games, 9-1 in his last 10 going into the playoffs with a .951 save percentage. Comes out, stops 33 of 34 in game 1. And we were talking about it before. We're going to talk about the Capitals later. We've talked about how the Islanders' offense isn't great, but it's not Capitals level dreadful. They had some really good chances.
I thought they played well. It's almost like what you're saying is kind of the scariest thing about that game is because the Islanders probably outplayed them.
Yeah.
And still lost. And you're not going to outplay the Hurricanes in the majority of those games.
Especially on the road.
That's the thing with Freddie too. It's we've seen him be good during the regular season, and then people say, "Oh well, we're going to the playoffs. Freddie's not really a playoff goalie." Bit of a statement game with that game 1, fellas. And Carolina should theoretically only go up. Jarvis, I don't even know if he got on the score sheet. I don't know if Gensel even got on the score sheet in that game. They were getting their depth guys were scoring goals in that game, and they got it done with Freddie. To think what's going to happen when their star players actually are able to kick it into gear and maybe shake off those first game nerves, Carolina could be a scary team.
Yeah, like I said, overreaction in the sense that it's only been 1 game, and playoff Freddie has not proven to be this elite his entire career, but I don't know, if I'm looking around the goaltending that we've got, I'll take Freddie over maybe any of the goalies right now. Actually, Swayman was really, really good too, but Freddie looks unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's almost a perfect overreaction, honestly, because it is. You're definitely okay. There's probably
it's
another
one
goalie,
game. It's one
game,
game.
But you're kind of man, he's been gross lately. So I do actually kind of get that one. I mean, I can support it. I don't know how much people are going to support this, what I say, for my overreaction.
Lay it on us.
You've got Leafs, Bruins.
And Bruins. And honestly, my overreaction is just that, the Leafs got them right where they want them.
I love it.
There's no scarier lead in hockey than a 1-0 playoff series lead. So, I mean, I just think no, I mean, if I was being honest, and if I was giving it one, because obviously that was not a great game. My overreaction is, I've got kind of 2 here. So one of them, I'm gonna go Max Domi might be my favorite Leaf, which is like an indictment of the team, and also and I just love Max Domi, but it's weird because he's not. He's an okay player, and I do really love that top line that they have. But he was really the only one that did anything positive for me in that first game. And I know like they played decently well, and but I mean, you got to put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
At some point, and for like again, I've been kind of harping on this already. I was talking to you guys about that. Like, I think Matthews has to score that goal. I think like if they go on to lose this series, we're gonna look back at stuff like that as like his fault.
Yeah.
Like, and I know people say you get your chances. Oh, that's kind of a tough chance, but like, just look at the reason the Bruins are winning these games. It's because like at the end of the day, like, yeah, you can say, oh, shooting percentages, regressions, and whatever, but like, just put the puck in the net. You're the best goal scorer in the NHL, and like you have a wide open net. You hit the post. And then the Bruins go down and put a bunch of perfectly placed shots that just kind of sneak by. You can't really blame Samsonov. Like, obviously, you'd probably hope for a save in some parts, but yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like, Matthews, talk about getting a little snake bitten at the wrong time. Like, what is that, 3 games in a row now? Which is, like, obviously not a big deal. It's only 3 games. But for Matthews, it's kind of like we're not really used to seeing him going. Like, I'm sure he'll probably get on the board tonight if I had to guess. But like
just based off the laws of averages, but
yeah.
It's also, I think it might be, it's like a bunch of playoff games going back that he
going back to the
scored
Florida
in.
series.
Yeah,
Because he scored 5 in that first round series against the Lightning. I don't think he scored in the Florida series.
Yeah, so that's 6 games then.
Yeah, that's Kristen Shilton's number 1 playoff player right now. That's Kristen Shilton's number 1.
Insane list.
Yeah, I just say that like obviously Kristen used to work at TSN and cover the Leafs, and you know, as someone who is not a fan of the Leafs, I just didn't really agree with the pick. anyways, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Also, like one thing I'm gonna say is, and I don't want to sound. I think it's great that the Leafs are trying to be a little more tough. Like I feel like that's something that they've been harped on before, and that's why I feel like Domi specifically was trying really hard to like kind of change that narrative about the Leafs being like a team that you kind of walk all over in the playoffs, not tough, give back. But it almost seemed like a little, almost too much in game 1. I can't explain it. It was like I seemed like he was a little too emotional at some points in the game. He took the penalty on Marchand.
Yeah, which funny enough, he kind of had been managing it well up until that one where like you just can't do that one extra slash because you know like. Refs probably looking at him like, don't do it again.
Because they're already looking at Marchand.
Talked him off the opening draw, too. Like,
because they hammered him with a couple of cross checks. Yeah. Like, I was shocked he didn't get a penalty for that.
Yeah. They had their eyes on him all night, though. So, like you said, they're just watching him waiting. Like, that's the best feeling as a ref, I'm sure, is like, I know when you do something, you are going to do it, and I'm going to call it. I'm right there. I will say, too, with the Leafs, like, man, would it be nice to have another guy that just seems like he's confident in his own end on the back end, like moving the puck up the ice. Because it seemed like there were just so many times where they couldn't get out of their zone and their defensemen were just like, it was just like, I got the puck, I'm whipping it right around the boards. I don't care who's there. I'm not taking that extra second to look. Other than Morgan Riley, I don't know if I'm confident in anybody. And Liljegren, because I thought he played pretty well too. But
Got tossed into the boards.
You got a
couple times. But
when it happened, I was like, "What's the over/under on replays we're gonna see of that?" I set the over/under at 5.5, and it was, I think it hit over.
The big rig too. The big rig, maroon.
Yeah. Oh, especially because it was maroon.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
Right? You gotta show that one.
It was just such a fitting play, like game 1, Boston, Toronto. Yeah. Maroon gets traded to Boston. Obviously, puts a guy into the bench. Like that's playoff hockey, baby.
Want to move on to your first overreaction?
Yes. You know what? Lightning Panthers, which I thought was a pretty interesting game. My overreaction is that people are probably thinking is that like stick a fork in the Lightning. I don't know. It's just game 1. It's so easy to get carried away with like, oh, this team's toast, this team's toast. But let's just remember who the Lightning are. Despite last year, this is a team that has been into the playoffs many times. I don't think they're too phased by losing game 1. I didn't think, like, you know, obviously Vasilevsky, I thought actually played, like, decent. And I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. I thought Florida did a really good job of, you know, minimizing the amount of Lightning opportunities. But I think I think the Lightning are going to kick things into the next gear offensively in the next game. I think they take game 2, personally.
Wow. I'm more with your actual what you were saying was your overreaction. I do kind of think like I think Florida's just the better team at this point, and I think they will win. Like I'm sure Tampa will get a game or two, but like I think 5 or 6, Florida's got it.
We'll see. I mean, Sam Reinhart is an absolute freaking gamer. Like he's so goddamn good. I love him. And, oh my god! Also, that pass from Barkov to Verhaeghe.
So
was insane. That
so
backdoor
nuts.
pass. Oh my god.
Barkov was unbelievable.
It's incredible.
This could be a good overreaction. How much money are you giving Sam Reinhart?
I don't think I'm overreacting when I say I think he's going to get
if he gets
$10.5 million at least.
11.5. Is that too much?
I don't know. Like I think at least 10.5. I think that's like a lot of money. I don't know if Florida will be able to afford him. Yeah, and the problem with Tampa too is that I'm a little uneasy about their defense. Like I don't think they, other than Hedman, they don't really. There's not like a lot to write home about on the back end.
Hearing Sergachev might come back is
He's
nuts.
crazy. He's
Yeah.
crazy.
It almost
Crazy.
feels like
Built different.
Yeah, like
Don't do
that.
that.
Yeah, it's like a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, built different. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a really, really good series. Who knows? Maybe Florida does go all the way, but I just cannot count on my dogs. Yeah, you want to do Rangers Capitals?
yeah, Rangers Capitals. This is an easy one. It's over.
Is that an overreaction? Or is this just a very fair reaction?
Maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's an overreaction in that it's only been one game and like they haven't even played at home yet, and like everybody always says you haven't lost a series until you lost at home.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna lose at home both games, and I think they're gonna be done in 4.
Yeah.
Because like the Rangers are sick and the Capitals are not. And like it's funny, we were so rude to the Capitals when they were getting into the thing. People were like, I saw some of the comments were like, you didn't even congratulate us.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh god, this team made the playoffs. I think you're kind of seeing why, because like I don't think it's gonna be close. The Rempe goal was sick in terms of just keeping that storyline going.
Awesome.
And,
First goal of the game.
First goal of the game.
First goal of the game, and after taking like a penalty almost immediately in the
that
game,
charging penalty.
which I thought was like,
I think it was a bit of a wild call.
not a charging penalty. Like I guess like in some
Maybe
ways
a
you
boarding.
could have gone boarding,
but not
like
charging.
yeah, and even the board I thought would be pretty soft. So I was happy that wasn't like one of those ones where it's like, oh, big fighter guy just ends up like taking a dumb penalty and he doesn't play the rest of the game or something. And then, so it was nice that he got on the score sheet, got a good narrative going for him. That Kreider goal to like really put the dagger in was sick. It was just like I want to say I was kind of afraid. Like I had like Carey Price flashbacks of like he just like he's going so fast. I thought he was just gonna bury the goalie. But,
and Aaron's already better than he was.
Exactly.
Playoffs last year.
He
like
had some nasty dangles.
A couple
big ones.
The broken ankle.
But he also had another one where he went through a guy in the offensive zone too. Like he was like skating across.
He's
and
so
it was
good.
nuts. He's insane.
He's so good.
The Rangers look poised. If they play Carolina in the second round, that is going to be an absolutely insane series.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. This playoff, I don't know what it is. This playoff has the feeling of like could be the best playoffs in a long time.
Yeah.
There's so many close series. There's not really a clear-cut winner. Like last year, you were kind of like, okay, like Vegas started getting going, and you're like, okay, like I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas goes all the way here.
Well, it's been so good already. We haven't even seen 2 of what I would assume are going to be the best series in
for
this
sure.
round 1, which is crazy because like the Kings and Oilers is this their third straight
in a row.
third straight first round matchup.
Yep.
And like each one of those last 2 was very intense. So.
Ton of overtime games. The first one went 7. Like it's gonna be a good season.
Yeah, it's gonna be very nuts.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now say your overreactions for yours at the exact same time.
Okay. Like when we say an overreaction, are we saying like something that we think that we believe, or like something that like people might be thinking that like everyone needs to chill out about?
Like you'll say it, and somebody might be like, it's been one game.
Yeah. Okay. All
right.
That's really the only criteria for it,
Okay.
is that like you might say it and someone would be like, okay, chill, we can see game 2 and it could be totally different.
All right.
And we understand that, but we're forcing each other to say overreactions.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Alex Georgiev has played his last game as an Av.
I was gonna let you do the honors, and actually, I'll talk about it. Connor Hellebuyck has not been a great playoff goalie. Like Hellebuyck took a ton of shots yesterday, too many shots, and the Avs offensively did a great job. I'm not blaming him for all the goals, but like this is a guy who's supposed to be the best goalie in the league, and he just did not.
There's a couple like the McKinnon goal I looked at.
Yeah, it was weak.
Yeah.
No, there were a couple weak ones. He just like did not really play well yesterday, and I get like Colorado was smothering the Jets with offense, smothering at points of the game, but like you kind of rely on Hellebuyck to be that guy for you who's gonna like steal games, and the fact that he let in 6 goals in the first game he had a sub 900 save percentage is like it's concerning. And if you look at Hellebuyck last year against Vegas too, he was not very good in that Golden Knights series, and you even look back before then, he was really good in that Edmonton series, but then against Montreal, he was like a little inconsistent in that series too. This is our Vezina goalie. We need him to play like this in the playoffs, and it doesn't matter who we're playing against. And I'm a little concerned because I don't think the Avalanche's offense is going anywhere. Like they're gonna be smothering us with 40+ shots a game. I think like this is not. That's the way that the Jets are gonna win this series is. We're gonna have to take advantage of Colorado's really bad goaltending, and we're gonna have to limit Colorado's goals through Hellebuyck. And last night to see him let in 6 goals was a little concerning for me. But I'll touch on Georgiev after, but I want to give you the stage, Luca.
It's tough. I have so much to say about him because it's like it's one of the worst goaltending performances I think we've ever seen in the NHL playoffs.
We were talking about it before. Like, is this the worst ever?
I think it's gotta be like.
You looked up some other ones. Did you have some other stats?
They were all in like the 80s and 90s and like I don't know. Whatever. This is the worst I've ever seen a goalie play in the NHL play. Like this was so bad on so many levels.
Let me hear ya.
And this goes back to something, and like this is why I didn't want to put them as the best in our tier list. Was simply him and his play because like since March 30th he's got a goals against of like over 6. Like how is that possible? That is one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen.
I agree. That's specifically why like
it's brutal.
You need like I was talking about it with some friends I was watching yesterday. In order to win the cup, you need like at least a bit above average goaltending. Like a bit.
If they got 800
or just like average, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think when Kemper, for example, was the goalie for the
he was average.
Maybe even a bit above. Like he was not.
Maybe
I would have said talent wise he was, but in that playoffs
he was
probably
kind of like a little below average, which was wild.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, and it's rare. Like with what we saw from Georgiev last night, unless you can figure it out, the Avs, I cannot see them winning a Stanley Cup if they don't figure it out.
So this is why I say like he's played his last game as an Av because I don't know how you can do your team, the guys in front of him like I think putting him back in is a disservice to them. Of like they fought to make that a 7-6 game when they didn't have to. And they kept fighting. Oh and this guy just could not make a save. And I think it's one of those things where, like, we've all played with in beer league with bad goalies where you're just like, damn. Like, any shot could go in at this point. Imagine feeling like that in a playoff game where it's like, we can't play the way we have always played because any shot, any chance feels like it's going to go in and we're just going to be chasing the game again. And that's got to be the worst feeling as a player. I think
best feeling is an opposing
fan for sure. But like a Noonan, he's like this is his first NHL season. I know he was sick, so like that's why they didn't pull Georgiev last night. If a Noonan is not sick, you have to start him. Like it's indefensible to go back to this guy. His confidence is shot. The team's confidence in front of him is shot. I don't see a world in which he can play again.
So I've got another overreaction for you then. Pull the goalie?
Maybe.
Adam Lowry is the biggest dog.
I'm tired of him already.
How does that sound?
Did you say ever?
No, in the playoffs. He's a dog.
Oh, right now
he's a complete dog. He was lights out last night.
He was good.
He was
good.
That's a captain's performance.
Man, it's just what he does. He just elevates in the playoffs, like leading by example, letting the fellas know it's on. Gabe Villard was great. And the craziest part is how our second line yesterday was not.
Yeah,
Nikolai Ehlers was amazing.
Ehlers
but other than that,
so good. Yeah.
Toffoli, love the guy, and he's a gamer, and I know he's going to step up in this series, but, man, he looked really
He
slow
just waits
yesterday.
for those elimination games, you know?
Yeah, he looked slow yesterday, and like Monahan wasn't very effective, and against a fast Colorado team, I have some concerns about how that second line's gonna do. But he looks like amazing.
Fast.
They're so fast.
It's
the positive
so
for
nice.
Avs fans here is like, hey, you proved that you can score 6 on this Winnipeg team that's been so good defensively all season long, and Hellebuyck, like you proved not only you can score, but you can create chances consistently. The whole
And
lineup
Kale
played
McCarr
well.
looked amazing.
McCarr was outstanding.
Oh my
like
God.
if when Girard is back, hopefully for game 2, like Sean Walker looked unbelievable
He did.
too, just jumping up in the ruck. I love every part of their game.
Manson's
other
a rat.
Than their goaltending.
Manson's a rat on the blue line. And you know what else? You know what else I'm concerned about for the Jets? I'm a little concerned about our defense because like Dylan Samberg, who I love, did not have a good game yesterday. He tossed an absolute pizza on that second Avs goal, and like Logan Stanley has been playing better down the stretch, but he's also a player that he's barely we've had to question whether or not he should be in the lineup, and to have Samberg play with Stanley, I'm sure that's like a little nerve-wracking for him because Stanley's the weakest guy on our back end, and I don't know. Like I feel like
Well, with the speed of that team.
Yeah,
like,
man,
that
It
is
was like
not
that
his
one
forte
McKinnon
there.
rush to
That was
start
on
the
DeMello.
third period.
that was on the hit the crossbar.
Oh my God, it was nuts. It was just like a little pass in the neutral zone. It's like he doesn't have a step on him yet, but it's like all of a sudden it's a breakaway.
In fairness,
Whenever
though,
they can just tap out a puck with
to
him
McKinnon?
with speed,
yeah,
he's
I was gonna
just-
say, in fairness to the Jets defense, I don't think
Happens to everybody.
I don't think any defenseman in the league is stopping that.
Nobody.
Yeah, so
Nobody.
That was kind of encouraging. and discouraging.
And now one positive for the Jets is Canada Life Center the best atmosphere in the playoffs. I saw a lot of chatter online of people like, wow, this is electric. And like,
guys, you're preaching to the choir here. Like how long have
They
I been
literally
saying
had a
this
choir
for?
that sang the anthem.
Ukrainian choir.
Yeah,
and my
did a
friends,
great job.
My friends, one of my best friends, girlfriend's dad and brother, were in the choir.
wow.
Unreal.
My buddy Josh Donan, yeah, his girlfriend
Wow.
Arisia,
Shout out
craziest. Man, I was there for Game 3 last year against Vegas when it was tied 1-1, and that game went to double overtime, and the Jets scored. The Jets came back from 4-1 to tie the game. Like when we scored that fourth goal, I think Lowry scored it. I've never experienced a louder boat in my life. Like it was psychotic.
Yeah, it seemed electric there, and obviously with such an insane game, it's easy to get up for that. But it was noticeably nuts. So,
Gonna be a great series.
Yeah, it's
Gonna
gonna
be a great
it's gonna be a long series too. Nashville, Vancouver. Okay, overreaction.
So I had a couple from like one. This is more just like this. I don't know. This is a fan thing. So we'll talk about the game obviously, but this is a fan thing where like because a lot of people were talking about like Quinn Hughes was saying how electric the crowd was and how loud it was and stuff. But I personally believe that towels at playoff games is one of the most overused and worst things for a crowd. Because- Yeah.
What do you want to see instead? Because the Avs do pom poms, which I could
honestly-
go either way on.
I don't want either. Because like
You
I
don't
know.
want anything.
No, because my main thing and the thing that I've always found I've obviously been to tons of games where this is a thing, and I find it makes it quieter. Because obviously you have some people going like, yeah, but everybody that is swinging their towel isn't clapping, isn't doing something to make noise in some way. And I think,
Man, come on. Last year, I went to my first home Jets game. I always wanted to do that. Swinging that towel on my head was literally one of the best feelings of my life. It's amazing, and you see it on the broadcast.
It doesn't. It
Everyone
looks
swinging
good.
towels. Dude, it looks so sick, and like the loudest music is. Look, I don't know. Maybe at Leafs games it's quiet, but at Jets games it's still really, really loud. Okay.
I personally, I don't know. That's just my opinion. From everyone I've been to, I don't like the towels, but I get that it creates a nice visual.
Here's my overreaction that like I don't even think is an overreaction. I think that series is going 7 games. Like I feel that's maybe the one I feel the most confident will go to 7 games.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Other than Dallas and Vegas, I feel like that has a good chance to go 7 games too.
My overreaction will be the other one I thought of was that Vancouver has the advantage in net, which like, yeah, I just think like Thatcher Demko looked amazing, and I know there's like
I think that's a very fair reaction.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of an overreaction it is, but in like some of those goals on UC Saros were tough, soft.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that Lindholm goal was
The Lindholm goal
was
especially, yeah.
extremely soft.
Yeah.
And you need Saros if you're Nashville. Like, he's gotta be one of your best players.
I think he'll bounce back. I think those were like that was weird, man. Like I thought like it seemed like Nashville was gonna win that game for a long time, but
12 seconds.
2 goals.
Crazy.
it's gonna go the distance.
Yeah. Another captain's performance too. Quinn Hughes out there just assists on I think the game tying goal and then the game winning goal. So
Yeah.
okay, well, we're done the series. I mean, there was a couple things I felt like we could throw around of just like big moments in hockey. Like a big narrative that's been going around is this William Nylander thing, which because the Leafs are being super mysterious about it, and like that's made everyone start to think like, is he hurt? Like, I think he is, but they're just approaching it in a super weird way. But I don't know, like, because like, what did you guys think when you saw some of the like him being injured and some of the quotes around it?
I think Sean Keefe is the most annoying coach in the NHL. Like I actually cannot.
Wow.
I cannot stand listening to him. I actually love him though at the same time because I think he's so entertaining. But he just pisses me off so much. I can't explain it. It's just like I feel like he opens his mouth sometimes when he shouldn't open his mouth. Like the whole thing with like I get what he was saying, but like the whole Matthews scoring 70 thing being a distraction. It's like why are you even saying that, man? Like, and then like the thing that he said to Matthews when he's like, oh yeah, like I told Austin when there were 34 seconds left when he came on the ice that there are great things coming for 34 for Austin Matthews and this team. I'm like,
Super corny.
You
for
are
sure.
such a turd, man. Like, give me a break. Like I'm looking dead ass in the camera right now. Like, Sean Keefe, you're a joke. Sorry.
That's probably an overreaction there.
Yeah. So again, like I do think it genuinely was like something that he was missing time for a real thing. It wasn't because like people were. I don't know. Did you guys see the play in the Tampa game where he knocks down a high stick and then doesn't touch the puck and they score like a.
He doesn't go after it.
Yeah,
It was like a no effort play, and then the puck just
It's-
goes up the other way.
It's a little nuts. Like, cause basically, so he's in the neutral zone. He knocks a puck down, and then so if he touches it, there will be a whistle.
Yeah.
But then he kind of just like lets it go to the defender, but the thing is, like, then you think you either touch it or you're staying there to defend that guy, right? Because like, okay, so then put some pressure on him or something. But he kind of just like turns around and
does
just
neither.
lets him have the puck, and then because everybody thought Nylander was going to touch the puck or something, then it seems like everyone else fell asleep at the wheel, and there's just like an immediate breakaway.
Yeah.
And like from defenseman stretch pass right up the middle, breaks through, goal, and and a bunch of people were like, "That's a joke effort." Like,
There's no way though that he would have been like if he got benched in game 1 because of that.
would have been nuts.
Well, and the Leafs lose the series. You have to whoever was responsible for benching him and needs to be fired immediately. This guy gives you your best chance to win all the time. And if
Has been such a good playoff player for
dude,
him.
if he did, he would have to do something so damn bad.
Yeah.
In order to have not played in that game 1, like, what, you're just gonna be stubborn and just like discipline the guy to teach him a lesson?
Yeah.
It's like if you're.
But I don't think that happened at all.
For sure. But if just like for all the people that still think that, like, if you're Leafs management and or the coach, like, you don't have that kind of like, you don't have enough rope to do that. Like, you're like you're 3 losses away from like literally MLSE could clean house. Not kidding. Like, man, not unrealistic to say they fire Sean Keefe, Brendan Shanahan gets fired. Like it.
Could happen.
I like this is. If they lose this series, like I think some big changes are coming. I don't want to get like too far ahead of anything because like it was just game 1, but like I think you can talk about hypotheticals for any team if they lost in the first round. I think specifically the Leafs. Like I think roster changes are coming too if they lose, but that's just my opinion. We can go on and on though about that.
Mark Stone sounding like he will play in game 1.
Makes me with that.
It doesn't surprise anyone, obviously, at this
Not
point.
at all.
No.
It's such bull crap. Like, it's so stupid that the NHL allows this to happen. It's just a bunch of crap. I mean, you can't really, like, I cannot stand the Golden Knights, but like you can't really blame them for just like they're working within the rules.
Yeah. And like no one here in this room is saying that Mark Stone wasn't hurt. But I think you could all.
The timing is very convenient.
Timing's always convenient, right? Like, could he have
Always
played?
convenient,
Could he have played the last week of the season? Probably.
Well, we were talking to like or I was talking with a friend too, like there needs to be a rule in place for if you don't play a certain amount of games, like if you're on LTIR and you don't play like the last 5 games of the season, or for every game that you missed in the last 5 games of the season, you should have to miss towards playoff games. Like if you're on LTIR and you don't return, and like you don't return for the last 5 games, and all of a sudden you're ready to return, you're missing 5 games of the first round series. Or like let's say you missed 3 of the last 5 games because of it on LTIR. Done. Like there just needs. I feel like the NBA has kind of implemented a rule in terms of like the way you can win MVP or not. You have to play a certain amount of games. I feel like the NHL needs to kind of change things up here because it's such bullcrap. Like not only were they able to get all these guys, but Mark Stone is now probably like really well rested and ready to go.
Next video, we're gonna lacerate our spleens and see how tough that is to deal with. See how quickly we can get back.
Performing surgery.
Oh no. Who's got the steadiest hands?
I feel like Sam would have steady hands.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
I don't know though. He's got kind of stone hands on the end.
Oh, that's true.
If that's the case, then maybe Pac.
He's got
Yeah,
some
he's
good hands.
If we need someone to perform that kind of procedure,
Eric's got some good hands.
Eric's got
If
good
we're-
hands,
if we're
yeah.
gonna-
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, we'll see Mark Stone tonight, and we're gonna overreact to that one as well. And they're gonna retire his cap hit, and we'll see you soon.
Let's go. We're back.